Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? As we started the show on Wednesday, we had word from Dennis Allen that they were starting Andy Dalton. And what we had at that time was just tweets that Andy Dalton was going to start, that it was, and that Jameis participated fully in practice. Here was Dennis Allen on the conference call. It's number 6, Muse, if you would. This is Dennis Allen explaining that the decision to start Andy Dalton is not based on injury, but rather performance.
I think it's an offensive decision. And what I mean by that is, in the last 4 weeks, again, we're one of the top offenses in terms of moving the ball. We're one of the top offenses in terms of scoring points, and that's really the name of the game. And so we're going to continue doing what we've been doing. We got to do a better job of protecting the football. And if we do that, I think we can be highly effective offensively.
I don't know if I believe Dennis Allen. And I'm not calling him a liar, but so please don't misunderstand. I'm not calling him a liar. Sometimes coaches don't fully disclose injuries, and for whatever reason it may be, competitive advantage, whatever. But Nick Underhill did tweet yesterday some background on what Jameis Winston has been dealing with. He suffered a ruptured peroneal tendon in his foot against Tampa Bay, he says, according to multiple sources. He went back in the game. That injury, not the back injury, has been the bigger issue, Nick Underhill points out. Okay. Jameis Winston has 4 broken vertebrae in his back and a ruptured tendon in his foot. In what reality are you going to try to convince me that dude is 100% ready to play? Y'all, before I go any further, let me be so very clear here. You all know that I was the first person, literally, more than 2.5 years ago, to say when Tampa parted ways with Jameis, Saints need to sign him. You know that I was very optimistic about him a year ago, very optimistic about the possibility coming into this year. I am also realistic enough to know that nothing we have seen so far through 2 weeks or two seasons with Jameis, injury-plagued, is enough to suggest he's your franchise. So let me be very clear. Yes, I'm a guy who understood and was very much okay with them kicking the tires on Jameis Winston, and I'm very much hoping that it works out. Also, nothing that we've seen through 2 years where he's battled injuries is enough of a definitive sample to say, that's your guy. Okay? So we're all clear where I'm coming from. But you cannot tell me, and I understand that no player at this point in an NFL season is 100%. But that dude's got 4 broken vertebrae and a ruptured tendon in his foot. If you're trying to convince me right now that he's not limited by those injuries, I just don't believe you. And that good on Jameis for practicing fully and getting out there and trying to be a dude and be there for his team, and he wants to play and play for a contract. And God bless, do play with broken vertebrae and a torn tendon in his foot. I can't even imagine the pain. But he went out there and did it. And it wasn't very good. At some point this year, and I'll say it again, at some point this year, 2 has got to be your starting quarterback again. Because you have got, whenever that is, and maybe they really do like where their offense is right now with Andy Dalton. If that's the case, it's a scary thought. Because Dalton's got there's a reason Cincinnati moved on. There's a reason Dallas moved on. There's a reason Chicago moved on. He's a quarterback in his 30s who had a lot of success in Cincinnati on a really good run for a decade, and that run is over for him. And he will be a journeyman backup quarterback in the NFL for however long he stays in the NFL, but he is not going to be anybody's franchise. And if that's the guy you're hitching your wagon to right now, that's a problem. But I'm going to say it again, and maybe this is just buying even more time for Jameis to get back and get healthier, but at some point this year, you're going to have to put Jameis Winston out there when he's as healthy as he could possibly be this year, and you're going to have to let it rip. Because you have got to make a decision if he can be your future. Maybe they've made that decision. Maybe they have. But you got to know definitively, because if you're moving on, you don't have great options. And great options aren't going to present themselves. But you need to know that definitively, if he can or if he can't. And I'd rather see that test case when he's healthier than he is right now with a broken back and a ruptured tendon in his foot. If you're trying to convince me that Andy Dalton throwing 3 picks, 2 pick sixes, 1 awful interception in the back of the end zone is your best bet, then you're telling me that the guy who's careless with the football but throws for a bunch of yards is your best bet. Well, wasn't that the knock on Jameis Winston his whole time in Tampa? Throws for a bunch of yards, bunch of touchdowns, careless with the football, turns it over too much. Wasn't that the knock? Why are you telling me Andy Dalton is a better option today? I just don't believe Dennis Allen. That's what I'm. And I don't think he's being deceitful. I don't think it's anything like that. I just think that he is being competitively coy with his comments, which coaches do, and he's entitled to. But I just do not believe if you're trying to tell me that Andy Dalton gives you the best chance to win. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.